Hey everyone, thank you for joining. This is Chronicle, an actual play podcast where we play our campaign in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. My name is Justin Burnside. I am the Game Master. If you like our show, please consider sharing with your fellow TTRPG friends, leaving us a review, and maybe even joining our Patreon. It helps keep my kids warm in the winter. And in the spirit of the last adventure, Jared has a question to help you all get to know us a little better.
Oh my god, I love questions.
Oh, yeah. So I was raiding my pantry of snacks and thinking about my, a sugar addiction. And it made me think about my, as a child. And it just became the perfect question in my head was, because I want to get to know you guys as well. You're 10 years old. Your mom is taking you to, your local convenience store to buy some candy to smuggle into the movie theater. What are your top 3 choices?
I can go first if it makes anybody feel better.
Yes, break the awkward silence.
Did you say top 3?
I would say top 3 because, there's one I would always go for. And then there's like the second one, like if it was an off day or maybe I'm like, I got that last time. So I think top 3 is perfect.
So let's see. All right, I got it. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So my bottom tier candy is peanut M&Ms. One step above that is sour straws. And then the number 1 is the Twizzlers, and I'll tell you why. My favorite thing to do, not so much now that I'm an adult and, have weight issues, but I loved to bite each end of the Twizzler and then shove it in the drink and use it as a straw.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
And now I wonder why I'm obese. I was also an obese 10-year-old, so you guys are allowed to laugh at that. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's America for you.
America. Fuck
Poor little
yeah.
10-year-olds using Twizzlers as straws for his soft soda.
I mean, I think we've all done that. If you haven't, have you really lived?
It's
No.
true.
I can honestly say I've never used a Twizzler as a straw.
All right,
That's-
your homework for the week is to use a Twizzler as a straw.
And that's because your government didn't push the idea that it was fats that was making us fat when it was really sugar the whole time.
This is true.
Sorry.
True.
No, we just don't have Twizzlers.
What? You don't have Twizzlers?
Wait, do you know what
we don't have
Twizzlers are, right?
I know what they are because where I work, people have bought in like large packs of them, but I honestly thought they were going to be a lot better than they are.
They do taste like wax, but
I can
They
mute people.
I kind of
don't
like it.
taste like red. Red has a taste, and that's not it.
Red vines taste like red.
Ooh,
And
Yes.
I actually like red vines over Twizzlers. They're just that extra little chemically taste that really brings you down to candy.
I got sick off of red vines as a child and vomited up red.
I've never actually had red vines.
I don't like licorice.
So for my own question, I guess I should have answered it too. I'll go from the bottom up as well. My third choice, which is a weird one, but I was a weird kid. I would like to get the pack of like orange flavored Tic Tacs, and that would be gone within like the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like I was just
those were
eating them
huge as
one after
children.
another. Yeah. Second choice would probably have been Twizzlers, because I didn't know red vines existed back then, and I recently found those and figured I liked them better. But my number one choice for the movie theater was I would always get the like, because I was able to swindle. I was a cute kid. You put on the eyes, you can get something, right? I got the multi-pack of Mentos, so there's like 5 tubes of Mentos in there
Oh,
of the
yeah.
fruit candy ones.
Nice.
Yes, those fruit candy ones that, like, again, you're supposed to eat them like sparingly. No, I ate all these tubes of Mentos during movies every time.
Ellie, what are your top 3 candies?
All right. So usually I like to go for some sort of gummy and then something chocolate for my candy choices at movies. So coming in at number 3, I would probably have to go with peanut M&Ms as well. Those are pretty good.
Oh,
And then second choice for my something gummy, watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
I love all Sour Patch Kids, but the watermelon, something about artificial watermelon I just really enjoy. And then top spot, I only really eat them at movie theaters, but Junior Mints.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
From the classic episode of Seinfeld.
And yeah.
All right, Joe, what are your top 3 candies there?
All right. Going from the top down, just to be a contrarian, my favorite are Smarties.
Ooh.
Right? And I think you guys,
they're different.
yeah, you guys have something. Now, when I say Smarties, I'm not talking about the Smarties you guys have in America.
The Smarties in the US are called Rockets in Canada, and they're a totally different. Yeah.
So they're not like sour chalk pieces. Your Smarties are different.
No, not
They're
at
made
all.
from Nestle.
Yeah, they're more like an M&M, but a little bit more candy-like than an M&M is. If that makes sense.
And it's made
Huh.
with paper.
But yeah, so Smarties are basically milk chocolate in a candy-coated shell, like M&Ms without the peanut, kind of. And I fucking love them. Like, oh man, they're so good. They just taste like sugary milk chocolate and food coloring. You know? Then for my second favorite, I got to go with the Reese's Pieces,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
which are basically Smarties, but with that Reese's peanut butter on the inside, you know?
Yeah, there's something
And
to
then
phone
for my
home
third
about.
favorite, any kind of M&M. Peanut, almond, just chocolate, pretzel, don't care. They're all delicious. As you might imagine,
agree.
I am a sucker for chocolate in a candy-coated shell. It's my favorite type of candy. Like,
With or
if you
without
put
nuts?
that shit in front of me. Oh, both. Like, I will put all those nuts in my mouth.
Peanut M&Ms are one of my top 3 candies, period.
Have you had the peanut butter M&Ms?
Oh, yes.
I have. Those are really good.
We don't have peanut butter M&Ms in Australia, and every time I go home, my little brother is like, "Please bring me the
Bring some
biggest
with you."
bag." He loves them.
If you ever visit the United States, I'm going to see if you can bring over universal health care.
God.
Bring me healthcare.
All right. Let's see. Everybody gave their candy, right? Because I went straight to Becca at first.
Excuse you.
No,
I
she
didn't
didn't.
give my candy.
When you talked about the Twizzlers, that's what had confused me.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
trying to recap it in my head real quick. I was like, she did mention Twizzlers.
I gotta find out what these Aussies eat in the movie theater if it's not Twizzlers.
Dingo babies.
So in Australia, we would actually call it a lolly. So I grew up calling them lollies. And no one ever says candy.
Oh,
So candy's not a thing. So
not bad.
going from least to best, like west to best, I would start with the lolly called Snakes Alive, which is just a snake in my favorite with the red ones, but they're essentially just a gummy. But I really liked the Vipers, which were just really big gummies. So just really big, long gummies. And then for my second one, I liked something called a Curly Whirly.
Is that actually what they're called?
Yeah, look, I'll send you a photo.
Oh my god, look at that.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a ladder. If a ladder was Fae
Drunk.
inspired, I guess, or drunk, yeah. And it has
It looks like
caramel in the middle.
stage scaffolding, like when they're holding up like a
Yeah.
stage
Oh, yeah.
and it's
Yeah, I
covered in
get you.
chocolate.
But it's Cadbury. It's good chocolate.
Yeah.
And then for my very most favorite one, I have to go with the classic Caramello Koala.
I'm sorry, what?
Did everybody have to Google for all three of Becca's
Yes,
answers?
I did indeed have to look at what those were.
So Caramello Koalas are just, they're like the size of your like thumb, but a bit thicker. And they're full of like a gooey kind of caramel. I don't actually like caramel that much, but these are my top three, which is weird. But anyway.
Huh.
And they have a song that I'm not going to sing.
Well, you can't do that.
Caramello Koala.
Is that accurate?
I've heard the song so many times.
Yeah, I do sing it randomly. Maybe Maggie will sing it randomly one day.
Sponsorship.
Joe gets an extra hero point. In between sessions, we leveled up from level 2 to level 3. I want to go around just kind of, if you guys could, give me a quick rundown of what you guys decided to pick with your level 3 choices. It can be as brief as you'd like. It can be as detailed as you like. I'm going to start on the opposite direction, though. And we're going to start with Jared on your level up choices.
All right. Well, so level 3 for Tack. I decided to give his skill increase to his acrobatics check, since he was able to jump over some things and try to flank one individual, but he tried to tumble through the other and failed. So I think getting better at acrobatics might help him out. The general feat I chose was toughness, because if he's going to be up in people's faces taking hits, maybe get a few extra hit points. And then the class feature, the class feat I chose was terrifying resistance. So if Tack demoralizes somebody for the next 24 hours, he gets a +1 bonus to their spell save, or to saving throws against their spells. I thought that would be very useful.
Nice. Yeah, I think that would be very useful.
Yeah.
And for the audience, I didn't mention this until now, but we are using the variant rule for automatic bonus progression. So each of you would have also gotten a skill potency of 1.
Nice.
So let's go to Joe. What does Dave look like now that he is level 3?
All right, so at level 3, Dave went ahead and put his skill proficiency into nature. Just kind of seems to make sense for like a little plant guardian of nature to have an idea what he's talking about.
Yep.
His general feat went into Ancestral Paragon, with which he picked up Leshy Superstition. So, as a reaction, he can basically get a +1 circumstance bonus to a saving throw against the triggering effects. And he also increased his will expertise, just as a Kinesis class feature, and got a new Kinesis ability called Extract Element, which helps with overcoming resistances and stuff that enemies might have to his elemental blasts and such.
Nice. Becca, how's Maggie feeling now that she's level 3?
Maggie's feeling great. She added to her performance and is now an expert. She also added a couple of new spells. So now Soothe is a signature spell for Maggie, and her new spells are Blistering Invective, which heaps insults and invectives spew from your mouth, devastating foes and burning from the intensity of your diatribe.
Maggie.
Interesting for Maggie.
She
Yeah, so that'd be
spits
fun.
Straight fire.
And then Hideous Laughter. The target is overtaken with uncontrollable laughter. I basically can turn people into the Joker.
Nice.
You damn right, for a straight minute.
Also, it increased to my reflex saves, and my general feat was Ancestral Paragon into Unexpected Shift.
Nice. All right, not loving the hideous laughter, but that's just because I'm the game master. Ellie, how about Vola?
Vola is now an expert in stealth because Rogue's got a rogue. She took the fleet general feat just so she could get into flanking position easily. And then for my skill feat, I took Titan Wrestler.
Hell yeah.
And then as a rogue class feature, creatures with the same level or lower to Vola cannot gain advantage on her from flanking or being hidden.
Wow. Rogues are freaking cool.
Hey guys, Justin here. I'd like to take some time to talk about our sponsor, us. If you like what you hear and want to support the show and the studio, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/playpretendstudios. Becoming a patron can get you access to our community Discord, ad-free shows, and even live streams of our recording sessions, depending on the tier, of course. Your support helps me bring all of this to life, and as we gain more support, we can add more to the pipeline. On patreon.com/playpretendstudios, you can find my roadmap for the studio. Our first goal is to hit 100 patrons, and once we hit that goal, we're going to add a free-form discussion show, where another host and I will talk about all sorts of things relating to tabletop role-playing games, whether it's current events, game design philosophy, RPG horror stories, anything really. Projects beyond that in the roadmap include a Game Master Advice / theory crafting show, homebrewed content for your favorite systems on a monthly basis, and my personal favorite, a New Game of the Week show, where we play a new game for a few sessions to help spotlight games that don't get as much coverage as 5th edition or even Pathfinder 2nd edition. And last but not least, the final goal would be a second actual play show, but not one in 5th edition or Pathfinder, but Play Pretend Studios' own rule set, to be revealed at a later date. Once again, if you'd like to support the show, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/playpretendstudios and help us bring these projects to life. So on the last episode, our agents were tasked with helping the Fungus Leshy Rain and Cloudy Day on his confirmation. On a voyage to Cassomir that was riddled with some bad luck to say the least, the little guy found himself in a heap of trouble. He had let his mission to find some ancient ruins in the Verdurn Forest, he let that slip to some shady men. And those men swooped Rain up and forced him to show them where those ruins were. Now, our agents made it to Cassomir and had to track Rain down. On the wet cobblestone streets of the port, Vola found a questionable thief posing as a beggar and got the information that you guys needed. But she was warned by the thief to watch out for Nags, the head honcho of the thieves in Cassomir. Armed with answers, you guys headed north into the Verdurn Forest. You tracked Rain down by just the next day, just to find him beaten to a pulp and left for dead just outside an ancient crypt. After getting Rain back on his feet, you all decided to head into the ruins and found that it contained a secret passageway to just below the earth. Navigating through a trap-laden hallway, you discovered a tomb with 2 cultists trying to break their way into an ancient sarcophagus. Now, combat ensued, and you did prevail, and you discovered what these cultists seemed to be after. You broke into the sarcophagus and found that there was a suit of chainmail armor in there, all but perfectly preserved from what seems like maybe millennia. Rain has decided that this armor is probably perfect for his confirmation, and his succeeding his confirmation to become a Pathfinder agent is the winning condition for your confirmation. So headed back to Cassomir, where Rain will reach out to the Pathfinder Society to get the details on the ship that they are chartering for you. You guys don't have to pay for the return trip. So you guys find yourselves back in the streets of Cassomir as you guys have navigated through the forests back into the city. It is just past after dusk, as the sun is slowly disappearing from the horizon as you guys are entering town. Where would you guys like to go?
Well, we're just staying for the night, right? We'll definitely want to keep an eye on Rain and Cloudy Day to make sure he doesn't wander off or get kidnapped again.
It does seem like he has a knack for it.
Yeah. I'd say if he has to make like a letter or like send a message or something, we'd follow him there. But afterwards, I think I'd suggest we head back to the three-legged frog.
The three-legged frog, yeah.
I think we should watch out for the stuff we recovered from the crypt, too, because there are people who beat the shit out of Rain looking for that. They might beat the shit out of us looking for it.
So, you guys find yourselves headed back to the three-legged frog on the streets of Cassomir. As you remember, the three-legged frog is just off of the docks. And we are going to roll initiative.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
All right, as you guys are strolling somewhat casually, not super casually, you guys are still adventurers, seemingly out of nowhere, Dave, a crossbow bolt strikes you from a distance, even with off guard, due to this guy being hidden. It is just a regular hit, and you get pierced by this crossbow for 10 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
He is going to spend his second action to reload. He is going to spend his third action trying to hide from you guys. Tack, as you guys were walking, seemingly out of nowhere, even though you can now identify where it came from, you saw a crossbow bolt. Perhaps it was even aimed for you, but it ended up striking Dave for 10 points of damage, and you saw the source of the bolt from behind these barrels about 115 feet away from you.
Ooh.
This is a big map.
Well, I believe, Tack being on the docks, a place that he's been familiar with, he's probably had his eye out, which is why he rolled so high in initiative. And sees Dave take the arrow, and he's going to shout, "Get down, we're under attack!" And he's going to rush forward this first action, and even rush forward again with his second action, all the way down to the south by the water, standing behind these barrels and such, and he's going to take cover as an action, as his third action.
Okay, and that will move to Maggie, who's next in initiative. Maggie, you can see at least where the crossbow had come from, but you do have trouble spotting the gentleman who tried to hide after he shot the last crossbow.
Okay. So, because Maggie is not really going to be able to target him, she is going to cast Lingering Composition.
All right, there is your normal DC for level 3.
So she gets a critical success with a 31 on her roll.
Cha-ching.
And then she is going to cast Inspire Courage.
And everybody gets that for 4 rounds.
Would Maggie know the general direction that the arrow came from? She would know where he is.
Yeah, she'll know where he came from-ish. If it is a targeting, though, he is kind of hidden again. So it would make you roll a flat check. You know the general vicinity, so if you do like AoE, I don't think you would need to.
No, actually, it's a stationary object, so I'm just going to do the seek thing, because what I was thinking of wasn't stationary.
Oh, okay. If you could give me a private perception, do you want to use a cone, or would you like to use the burst? I can send the thing to the chat real quick.
I think I'm going to go with the burst, the 15-foot burst.
Okay, yeah, a quick scan around your surroundings. Go ahead and give me a secret perception check. Holy, oh, shit. Damn it, it's secret, guys.
That was either really good or really bad.
Oh yeah, who knows?
And
a
so this
secret.
15-foot burst I'm seeing with the seek action, you can do that anywhere you want within line of sight?
Yep.
That's cool.
Oh, I did that incorrectly. It doesn't have to be right from you.
Yeah, the cone has to be from you, but the burst can be anywhere as you're looking at.
Well, then let's take that as a Freudian slip because that helped you versus having to, guess around and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to put the burst where I feel he's coming from, which are behind these barrels here.
Okay. All right, you definitely see him as right there still. And he is now not hidden to you at all. And with a critical success on the perception check, you notice a little shuffling from the corner of your right eye and to the south, right next to the water. Hidden behind this crate, you see another figure. It was a little hard to see the other gentleman, but you see this one wearing a dark hood, a half-faced mask to conceal his identity as best as they could. And that person is now also no longer hidden to you.
Maggie's going to look at him directly and say, "Oh, you little bugger, I see you there. You can't escape from me."
That was good.
Are you going to point out? Pointing out is an action, but then we all know where the fella is too. They become hidden to us instead of undetected.
That's a really good point. I'm going to do that.
Well,
I'm going
this
to point
guy-
it to everybody and say, "Look at this gentleman trying to hide and attack us from the side."
The guy kind of pops up. My sneak attack, man.
There'll be no sneaking today, young man.
It's like he's stealing our caramel koalas, if I could only remember the song.
Caramella, koala.
He is going to spend an action, seeing that you guys are a little grouped up here. And he's going to spend his second action to toss a bomb at Vola. Now it misses, but Vola, you will take, what's my splash here?
1.
1. Maggie, you do catch a little bit of this alchemist's fire as it springs onto your apron, though you can quickly kind of pat it out. He will die for hurting Maggie, I promise.
Maggie's like, oh dear, my apron.
And he spends a second action trying to hide.
Does he not have to use an action to take the bomb out? Or do you already have it?
Interact, throw, hide. Yeah, this will be his third final action.
Oh, okay.
Next, we will move on to Dave. Dave, you've seen the two spring up and attack. You see this guy to the south. He was trying to duck back down out of your view, but you can still see the top of his head, or the hood, kind of poking above the crates. And then the gentleman that was also pointed out by Maggie to the south.
Dave is going to go ahead and stride to here. He's going to spend one action channeling his elemental aura, channeling the elements. And as a kineticist, he gets to make a one-action elemental blast at the same time as he does that. So he's going to take a swipe at this dude with a big chunk of rock. Just going to kind of say to him, like, I see you there, buddy.
Hi.
Hi. Dave is just shy of a crit with a 24. And then he's going to spend his last action using his Armoring Earth ability. And you'll see like a bunch of rock just crawl up from the ground and encase him in stone and protect him from harm.
That attack of yours was just enough to end this thief's life.
Oh, nice.
And after that,
Return to the Earth, man.
Vola, you are not off guard to this, but they don't know that. As an arrow whizzes past your face, with a quick glance to the north, you see one of these hooded figures perched up on the roof.
It's an ambush.
Hey, that's what I named the encounter. Roll the credits. He is going to spend another action to draw a bomb and toss it at Vola. So Maggie and Vola, you will both take 1 point of splash damage. And Vola, that is your turn. You see one gentleman to the north of you perched up on the roof. And then, of course, you know about the gentleman about 150 some odd feet away from you behind some crates.
All right. I don't have any range attacks, so I'm going to use all 3 of my actions to stride up towards the gentleman to our east, hiding behind the barrels. And that's it.
That's fair. I will make the note. Don't make such a long street next time.
Well, it just gives them more chances to shoot at us.
True.
That's
I
true.
will not apologize. All right, so Dave, you should be... Oh, shit.
No!
Oof.
Oh, fuck, it's sneak attack. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Where's that crit noise?
My thiefy boy rolled a crit.
Sorry, Joe. We just had to have it.
So with the sneak attack damage, you'll be taking 12 points of piercing damage. Feeling pretty hot about himself, though you are no longer off guard to him. He's gonna do that again. He pulls back the bow, and this time the complete opposite, whiffs with a 16 total. And seeing Vola stride to the east, he is going to spend his last action. I'm going to say that's difficult terrain up there on the shingles. He's going to move about 10 feet to the east on top of this roof. And just one more. You see a final thief popping out from behind these crates. Okay, so he has to spend all of his actions to get to you. And he cannot do anything else. That will bring us back to the top of the round, to the first gentleman who shot at you. Being pointed out and now rushed by a very muscular looking orc. He is going to stride and reload his crossbow with one action. He is going to mark Uvola as his prey, and he is going to shoot his crossbow at you.
Oh, God.
Rude.
Ouch.
26 points of piercing damage.
That hurt.
Ouch. Bruh.
Tack. You just saw the gentleman start running from the opposite way of Vola and get a very clean shot right onto her. What would you like to do?
So Tack is going to spring into battle, charge forward with one action, and he's going to see this individual in front of him, and he's going to say, "You cover your face because you're a sissy," and try to intimidate him.
No, man, there's a pandemic happening. Jesus.
All right, so that's a 25 for the intimidation check against this little lackey.
That's a critical success
Ooh.
against his will DC. And this gentleman is now frightened too.
And that means I have a panache. Wait, how do I... Because I successfully demoralized somebody. And I will try to strike this individual. Just regular, not with a confident finisher. That was a 22 to hit.
That's a good hit. Almost too good.
With the worst possible damage roll of 5.
You know, maybe it's not the damage that what we should really look for in that attack. It's the frightened 2 out of this round.
Well, now Vola's going to get to crit him. And that was my third action.
And when she does, I will point it out. that it was because he was frightened too.
Oh, and also his frightened condition can't go below 1.
Oh, nice. All right, Maggie. You see 2 thieves perched up on the roof to your north, to the north. What would you like to do?
All right, Maggie is going to step closer to the gentleman closest to her on the roof that tried to drop a bomb on Vola. She's going to go 25 feet here. And then she is going to cast Command.
Jump.
So the thief rolls a 12 on his will saving throw.
So that is a failure. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so failure for the first action. On its next turn, the creature must use a single action to do as I command. And the command that I'm going to make is approach me or approach.
Okay. I like that. Hey, get within slapping distance, bud.
Well, he's on a roof, so if he steps forward, hopefully he'll fall.
It will depend on his athletics check. Oof. I just looked at his athletic score. Dave, that will be your turn.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stride 20 feet closer to the other thief on the roof. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll use Weapon Infusion on my Elemental Blast to give it 50 foot of range and propulsive. So Dave just kind of like channels some brick-sized chunks of rock and then just flings them through the air towards the thief. Oof. Just shy of a crit once again with a 24.
You guys are getting close.
Wait, do you have Inspire Courage?
I do, yeah.
Ah.
Shame.
Which one? Oh, yeah, you're green. So it was that gentleman right here, right?
Yes, so it'll be a mere 3 points of damage. But I will go ahead and throw a second brick at his face. That one will whiff with a 12. Alright, and that will end Dave's turn.
All right, this one, his first action will be to approach. A little bit aloofness. He's going to try to jump down. We're going to give him at least a chance to roll an athletics check. Oof. For a 6 total. So he's going to take 7 points of damage as he was 15 feet up in the air. And be knocked prone for sure.
Nice.
Maggie will lure men to their death.
Come to me.
I've got cookies.
That got scary, actually. So he's going to have to spend his second action to stand up. To where he is no longer prone. And seeing that you're the one to command him, he drops his short bow with a free action. And he draws out a short sword with his third and final action. Vola, that is your turn.
All right. After getting annihilated by that crossbow bolt, you can see she kind of like stumbles for a second and grimaces and then pulls it back together. Is tumble through just acrobatics?
It is.
Okay. She's gonna try and, I guess, tumble through the one in front of her to flank with tack.
Okay.
Ah, nice.
So that is against their reflex DC. Not a critical failure.
So she rolled a 9. What happens then?
So with I just had it open. Let's see. So nothing happens with your movement ends and you trigger reactions as if you had moved out of the square, but this gentleman does not have reactions like that.
Okay. Then she'll just try to attack him. Take a stab at him with her knuckle daggers. Nice. She rolled a 1. Well, I will use my hero point then to reroll that.
It's fair.
For a 22. Jeez.
You could have literally only missed with a nat 1.
Oh my god. And 1 away from a crit. She doesn't get sneak attack on this one, but she gets 11 points of damage.
Who needs sneak attack when your dagger destroys this guy's existence? Followed up from tax attack.
And then her last action, she is going to pull a healing potion out of her inventory to take next turn.
Okay, so it will now be this thief who is perched up on the roof he's going to set his sights on you, Dave, with his short bow. And this arrow whizzes past your face as he misses. He is going to drop his bow with a free action, and he is going to try to leap down as well. But he does not whiff this check like his friend just did. He does land on his feet, but that is all 3 of his actions. And at the top of the round, we are back to kind of who seems to be the head honcho of the bunch. Definitely hits way harder. He is going to set his sights once again on Vola. He's going to spend an action to say, "We just want the orc. The rest of you can leave." As he shoots, second action is to reload. Third action is to shoot.
Hey!
Oh my god.
Oof. Bruh.
Ooh.
For 26 points of damage.
With that, Vola is unconscious.
And you will be dying 2 with a critical hit.
Oh! She has her orc ferocity.
Son of a biscuit.
Whew!
Oh, nice.
Forgot about that.
Art's not done on Vola yet. Just kidding.
So as her reaction, she's gonna remain up with 1 hit point. But my winded condition still increases by 1.
Okay, so technically you will be prone, though. I believe.
Am I prone?
Unless that states otherwise.
Let me look.
Well, I mean, it says you've refused to fall from your injuries, so I'm going to interpret that as you don't fall.
Vola's gonna spit some blood on the ground and say, "You will have to try harder than this."
That's pretty fucking metal.
Yeah.
She's so
Orcs,
badass.
you can't kill him.
Pass the beer nuts. Wait, does no one get that reference?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's something that just like old white men will say in bars in Australia. They'll be like, "Women can't live with them. Pass the beer nuts." It's like because the natural progression of that is can't live without them, but they can. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
That's good. So he reloaded, shot. He's going to use his last action to running reload as he moves his full speed as he reloads his crossbow for the next round. That will be Tack's turn. You just witnessed Vola just nearly go down and then let out a shaking orc roar.
Well, Tack is going to be pissed and run forward his full distance of 35 feet to be right next to this individual, which he can only have done because he has panache and has that extra movement speed.
Hell yeah.
And he is going to take his second action to have a confident finishing strike with his scourge on this evil man. And so that is an 18.
18 will miss.
And his third action, losing panache. Oh, actually, wait, because it's panache, it still has half damage of the precise strike.
Oh, nice.
So that's half of 2d6.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, damn.
That's some 6s. So he takes 6 points of damage. And so, even though the bulk of his swipe of the scourge misses, he gets caught with a little bit of lash on the side. And Tax says, "I'm going to shove those toothpicks up your ass," to try to intimidate him.
Hey man, don't insult my crossbow bolt.
Nice.
Oh,
Damn.
and a 20 on the die.
Oh.
He is now frightened too.
You goddamn better be.
And that's Panache back on tag.
This man has just seen an orc that he thought he got the killing shot on not fall. And then his crossbow bolts got insulted. Which, I mean, that's his image. Maggie, that is your turn.
Okay. Maggie is going to attempt to demoralize the gentleman in front of her.
Okay.
So...
You know, I just pictured demoralizing from Maggie. Just like I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
And she rolls a 13 for a 22.
That is one away from a critical success.
I'm tired of this.
Oh. No.
You guys are on the brink of perfection.
So many crits.
So this gentleman is now frightened 1. What do you think Maggie would say to demoralize this poor young gentleman?
To demoralize him, she would say, "Now look, you come in here attacking us out of nowhere. Wouldn't your mother be so disappointed in you? Look at yourself, trying to hurt innocent people. How dare you hurt my friend?"
You know, in the rulebook it says there's this section under adjudicating rules. I'm going to give you a +1 circumstance bonus to that intimidation check
Hey!
for the
Nice.
incredible role play. And we're going to give him frightened too.
Ooh.
I believe that's 2 more actions from you, Maggie.
All right, so now Maggie's gonna take advantage of how frightened he is of her and pull some knitting needles out of her apron and attack him with needle darts.
Maggie on the crit.
12 points of damage. He had a second to think about his life before it was taken from him.
Jesus.
He was in that moment. He knew. He fucked up.
This is like my real mom, but way more violent. Dave, that is your turn. On the field, you see only 2 combatants remaining.
All right, Dave is gonna call it to Vola. "Don't worry, I'm coming here." He's gonna get a bit closer, but also get within range of this fella here, so he can take out this guy to the north. And I'll go ahead and use Weapon Infusion as a free action to give it his chunk of rock the 20-foot range increment and the Throne trait, so he adds his full strength onto the damage. And then I'll make a 1-action Elemental Blast against him, throwing another brick at his face.
You've been bricked.
No.
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna hero point that.
Yeah.
Why not? Use it or lose it, fellas. So I rolled a 4, which was a miss, and I hero point it, and it rolls a 5, which is just enough for a hit.
God bless that circumstance bonus, too.
Oh, man. Ooh. He will take 7 points of damage.
Ooh, that's a flat brick right to the face as he drops to the ground.
And then Dave's going to spend his last action getting another 20 feet closer to Vola. And that will end his turn.
That will lead us to Vola, wounded 1, very much so in pain.
Not to back down from a fight, Vola's gonna quickly down the healing potion she grabbed last round for 5 more hit points. And she's going to stride towards the person that hit her with the crossbow bolt. and attack him with her dagger
Oof.
for a 29 to hit.
Oof.
If only there was
That's
sneak attack
frightened,
on
too.
that. I couldn't quite make it into flanking position. Minimum damage for 12 points.
Oof. Still savage.
All right, that is going to move to his turn. Taking a quick glance, seeing a lot of blood on the streets, being, his employees. He's going to drop his crossbow and hold his hands high. It's not worth the job. Tack, that is your turn next. How would you respond to that? Would you like to end combat?
Tack is gonna, since his scourge is a non-lethal weapon,
Yes.
he is gonna
yes.
full on just slash him in the face as he screams, "Who sent you?" Oh, and that's gonna miss.
So close to a 20.
You know what? Hero point. That's
You got a hero point it for flavor.
yeah. He's pissed. So I rolled a 2 on the die. That missed. So then I roll a 1 on the die. And as Tack whips his scourge, ends up hitting himself in the face and just screams, "Who sent you?" as he's holding his eyeball.
I'm crying.
Oh my god.
He kind of lets out like a little chuckle. You can hear underneath his...
All right, and then third action is finisher. Fuck him.
Oh my god!
And that's a natural 20 on the die.
The dichotomy of man.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
For 28 points of non-lethal damage.
Who's laughing now, bitch?
Oh god.
He stumbles back, immediately regretting laughing at you.
Oh my god. My jaw hurts from smiling.
I know, right?
That was all 3 actions.
Maggie, if you guys would like to continue combat or accept his surrender, it is your turn.
Maggie can choose to accept the surrender.
Yeah, if everybody's cool with it, we'll end combat here.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Get some info.
I mean,
out
we
of him.
could hurt him a little bit more before that. Just kidding.
Pretty sure he's been hurt. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's scared shitless.
We can always kill him when we're done.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's just like ready to strike next and looks a little disappointed.
I only got him with that because it's non-lethal.
So as we come to the end of combat, he looks at Tack, and regardless of the slight embarrassment that Tack made of himself, he is of the utmost horror. He's very frightened from you intimidating him just before. And even though you showed a glimpse of, hey, you're not perfect, he's still pretty scared of you. And then the orc that just refused literally to die is inches from stabbing him. I work for Nags.
Why does she want to stab?
She ordered the thief, Vola, to be brought in dead or alive. That's where we'll end this session.
Ooh.
The cliffhanger.
How's everybody feel? Feeling good?
Well, it's not.
Oh, that was so funny.
Vola, I imagine, is in pain.
She's not showing it though. She's cool, calm, and collected.
Dave is just pulling a crossbow bolt out of his chest like,
There's no
oh, that
stuff in there."
stings.
Vola's, there's one sticking in her fucking skull. She's like, I'm an orc, I could ignore this.
Why does everybody keep looking at me weird?
Chronicle uses trademarks and or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Chronicle is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. I'll send you guys the first episode once I get it nice and recorded. Like,
Ooh, I can't wait to force my wife to listen to it.
How'd you like the first one?
I played the first 20 minutes of it, and like as it first like or the whole thing of it, and like within the first minute of it, and then she was like, "Oh wait, this is the podcast you guys are doing." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I thought this was real." I'm like, "It is real." And she's like, "No, I thought it was like an official thing by like other people." She's like, "It just sounds good."
oh shit.
Oh,
That
nice.
is one of the best compliments I could ever hear from them.
I'm impressed.